What up? Today we're gonna be browsing the wiki pages of Wikipedia, Star Wars Wiki. A lot of people don't really understand like what the Mandalorians are about, so I think it would be really informative. Oh, we have a quote from Kreia here. Mandalorian Wars were a series of massacres that masked another war, a war of conversion, culminating in the final atrocity that no Jedi could walk away from save one, which is, of course, in reference to Revan. But yeah, this is an extraordinarily influential character through the Mandalorian Wars time period. Here we go. So the chronology is based off of, or the starting point of, would be the Battle of Yavin, which is where the first Death Star was blown up. I'm pretty sure it's the first one. Battle of Yavin is the first Death Star, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the timeline starts Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void, which is honestly a solid book. It gives you insights into the first Jedi and how they were 25,000, almost 26,000 years before the Common Era, which would be where the movies take place. Honestly, a solid series. And then there's a huge skip here up to like the 5,000 before Battle of Yavin, and this is the Old Republic era. This is where the Mandalorian Wars takes place, in the Old Republic era. Pretty flushed out series. A lot of stuff surrounding Revan. Rise of the Republic. That would be like predating Episode 1 Phantom Menace quite a bit. As much as I think Phantom Menace takes place like, it'd be like 40 to 50. Yeah, Phantom Menace would be 40 to 50 years. It's honestly probably on this list before the Battle of Yavin. So this is Darth Maul's debut, I think. 33 before Battle of Yavin. Darth Plagueis, where he discovers Sidious and all that. Yeah, but most of this can be considered canon. A lot of people are like, yo, that's Legends, it doesn't matter. But everything before Battle of Yavin is honestly, Disney is going through and making a lot of it canon. Like Revan's canon, Darth Bane is canon. A lot of the old Sith Lords, Mandalorians are obviously canon. What happens after the Battle of Yavin, like after the cinematography, is not probably going to be made canon. That's probably all going to be erased from the Star Wars lore universe, just because Disney wants to put in their own stuff, and it gets kind of complicated anyways when you get into the later ABY, like 20 ABY, and the stuff with Darth Krayt and the other Sith, and then like Han Solo has like 15 children. So there's just like a baker's dozen Skywalkers running around, and it just gets kind of weird. Like the New Jedi Order era is mostly what I'm talking about, and the Legacy era. There is some sick stories in here. Don't get me wrong. Like the story of Abeloth, where Darth Krayt and Luke Skywalker had to join forces to thwart that immense evil. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. The most powerful force entity of the Star Wars universe. Looks like this here. Something out of like a horror game, like Amnesia or something. But Abeloth has insanely immense power, and they come from the planet where the force entities, the father, the son, and the daughter come from. Whereas the son is the essence of evil. The daughter is the essence of benevolence, and then the father's neutrality. And then Abeloth was actually supposed to be the mother, and she got corrupted. So that's where Abeloth comes from, but that's probably never going to be made canon, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, that's the story, or the timeline here, a brief explanation of the timeline. And if we come all the way back here, years and years, thousands of years, to the Old Republic era, the Mandalorian Wars starts where Revan's story starts. And that's where Revan comes from. He comes out of the Mandalorian Wars. Revan's pretty sick. Looks like this guy here. He's actually wearing the mask of Mandalore the Ultimate. Because he killed Mandalore the Ultimate. Another reason why I think that this video would be a really good idea is just because Mandalorians are really traditional in their ways and have many traditions that they still hold sacred and have honor to. Like, a perfect example is that Jin never takes off his helmet, ever. That's an old Mandalorian tradition, where if you were to be seen without your helmet, then you get ostracized from your clan. Yeah, that comes from the Old Republic era with the older Mandalorians during the Mandalorian Wars and thereafter. But the Mandalorians kind of fell off after the Mandalorian Wars because they got pretty much exterminated by an army of Dark Jedi. Revan is also probably the first Gray Jedi. Which is a term for neither light nor dark, a Force user who walks the path of neutrality, kind of. I wouldn't exactly call it neutrality. I'd say that the Jedi are more neutral, and the Gray Jedi are more they do what they want kind of thing, but they still, like, are generally good. Yeah, I've actually read this book here. I have this book. Solid book. Yeah, also... the video games like Knights of the Old Republic, amazing video game. I'll probably play through it on stream, to be honest with you, just because of how epic it is. But you get a really good grasp of the Mandalorian Wars through that because you play through the Mandalorian Wars. Or at least the after effects of the Mandalorian Wars, and you get a lot of information about it. You meet all the key characters. But, yeah, the Mandalorian Wars is nuts. See if I can get a picture of Mandalore the Ultimate. Oh, there he is, Mandalore the Ultimate. What a savage. Look at this man. Look at him go. The Conqueror himself. Absolute mad lad. Yeah, I think honestly, if it, I'm gonna go over this in the video as well. But if it weren't for Revan and the small cult of Jedi that he led, the Mandalorians would have overthrown the Republic. Yeah, Mandalorians mostly come from, I believe, Duxon and Mandalore are Outer Rim territories. I'll see if I can pull up a star map here in a minute. Some of these battles are so crazy. Like, some of the strategies that the Mandalorians used are honestly so epic. Like, they would be outnumbered by like scores and legions, and they would still emerge victorious because of the ridiculous strategies that they would use to overcome their opponents. Oh shit, that's Revan. That's Revan himself wearing the mask of Mandalore the Ultimate. Oh man, I just missed the picture. Where did that go? Oh, here it is. Oh, this is Revan leading his small sect of Jedi, who pretty much single-handedly defeated the entirety of the Mandalorians. Yeah, it's kind of hard if you're a Mandalorian, This is actually huge for Mandalorians. The Mask of Mandalore is the single most significant artifact that a Mandalorian can possess, or even throughout the entire Mandalorian culture. Because if you don this mask, you are Mandalore, which is the title that is given to the leader of all Mandalorians. And Revan defeated Mandalore the Ultimate and took his mask, which essentially makes him the leader of all Mandalorians, but nobody would accept that because he's not Mandalorian. He's human. Revan is human. So, the reason why he took the mask is just so, like, any other Mandalorian couldn't just pick it up and become Mandalore. So they couldn't have a leader, and because of that, they were scattered, and after that it was pretty easy. So I guess it's not like it's the most amazing feat. It's not like he single-handedly took on an army like some kind of god. He defeated Mandalore the Ultimate in single combat and took his mask, and without a leader, it's kind of like if you cut the proverb, cut off the snake's head and the snake will die or something like that. I don't know how the proverb goes exactly. Revanchists, yeah, that's that's what the sect of Jedi was called, which I think is French for revenge or something like that. Yeah. And then getting into the mass shadow generator, which is like one of the first super weapons. It's not the first super weapon, like the planet-killing super weapon, which is a trope that is continued multiple times throughout the Star Wars universe. You see it in almost every like major story. There's a planet killer, Star Killer base, the Death Star 2. There's a temple in Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void, which is on a planet, but it can destroy other planets. And then, yeah, the mass shadow generator, which absolutely decimated Malachor 5. Oh, here's the Battle of Malachor 5 right here. This is this is considered the end of the Mandalorian War. Malachor 5. Let's see if we can get a picture of what Malachor 5 looks like after the mass shadow generator. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Look at that. Yeah. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like after, I think. Yeah, so, Malachor 5. Yo, a quote from HK-47 the Lad. Observation, Master, I do not believe that the Mandalorians were the true target at Malachor. I believe that the intention was to destroy the Jedi, break their will, and make them loyal to Revan. I do not know if you examined the records of the deaths on Malachor, but you cannot escape that many of the Jedi and Republic soldiers who died were not Revan's strongest supporters. Observation, I believe that Revan was cleaning house at Malachor 5. What ones did not die became Revan's allies against the Republic. It is also true that Revan fell to the dark side pretty heavy. Became one of the sickest Sith Lords and almost overthrew the Republic. I think that he was not nearly as close to overthrowing the Republic as the Mandalorians were, though. Like, Revan kind of slapped the Mandalorians, but the Mandalorians were about to... It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors, just to be honest, where Revan is scissors, Mandalorian is paper, and Republic is rock. Yeah, rock, paper, scissors. That's a good analogy. It does get kind of wonky there after the Mandalorian Wars is over and Revan is leading the Revanchists against the Republic. It does get a little convoluted in what happens. I think personally it gets a little confusing is essentially what I'm trying to say. Because Revan splits his being into two tangible selves. I'll see if I can find that page. Whoa, there's a deleted scene? Deleted scenes are canon. Oh, it's not exactly a deleted scene. I think it's a deleted concept. So Dave Filoni was talking about either putting in Revan or Bane in the Mortis arc, which is the arc with the father, the son, and the daughter, the Force beings. Yeah, Darth Bane and Darth Revan kind of have like a symbiotic relationship because Darth Bane, everything that he knows about the Force, he learned from a holocron that Revan left behind. So you can't have Darth Bane without Darth Revan. It's kind of like, yeah. Darth Bane is a product of Darth Revan's legacy. So I guess in that regard, you could say that Darth Revan is the original founder of the Rule of Two. I mean, that's kind of a stretch. It'd be kind of a stretch to say that that Revan is the founder of the Rule of Two when that's obviously a philosophy that Darth Bane invented. I think this might be it. Okay, so the animation, since it's a deleted scene, the animation is obviously not A1. But let's take a look. This is Mortis. And this looks like it's the sun in the volcano.
I have done as you've asked. Why do you weep like a child?
Ooh.
You told me that
Let's turn the volume up a bit.
I would be free. You told me that all would be right. And it is.
No way.
Then why do I feel such pain? Because you have not embraced your resentment.
Is that Revan? Up here?
Who are you? You must answer me this time. We are those who have come before. Those who were betrayed.
Oh shit.
Those
Revan and Bane are
hate.
canon officially because deleted scenes are
the
canon.
wielders
And
of
there
the
they
dark
are.
side.
Yo!
What do
Why
you
was this
want
not
from
put
me?
in?
We stand before you, disciples of the dark side, intent on its supremacy. It has been foreseen that one lives
Revan and
will
Bane
control
manipulated the sun?
universe. Where? It is unknown.
That's insanity.
But know this, the Chosen One is the key. He who controls Skywalker will control everything. We tell you this to guarantee your success. And if I fail?
That's crazy. That is honestly... That's sick. Yeah, the power of the Force beings of Mortis are like... They balance the universe. And the fact that Revan and Bane were like directly influencing the actions of the sun is just like a testament to their power and their legacy. Darth Nihilus is also worth mentioning for the Mandalorian Wars era. He's kind of a lesser character. He's more involved with like... He's kind of like a background character, but he's also one of the sickest Sith Lords in existence. Like probably top 5. Like if I were to do a tier list of the sickest Sith Lords, he'd probably be top 5. Maybe. Probably top 5. Well, maybe top 6. Top 6. Yeah, so this is everything. Everything here is canon. Revan is canon. The Mandalorian Wars is canon because we're on the canon section here. Mandalorian Wars is canon. He's the Supreme Commander of the Jedi and Galactic Republic forces. He fell to the dark side of the Force. It's kind of weird because he was both on the dark side and the light side. Oh, I forgot that he also appears in The Rise of Skywalker. He's one of the statues. Yeah, so even without this Clone Wars deleted scene, he is canon through in the Sith Temple where Palpatine is. There is a statue of him as well as Bane, I'm pretty sure. So And then if you go to Legends, there's a lot more because Revan is huge in Legends. Yeah, look at this. Look at all this extra information. Look at all this, look at this huge table of contents. Look at this. Look at that. Not a lot of canon characters have this much backstory. Revan Reborn is what we're looking for. So this is actually the start of the first game of Knights of the Old Republic, is when Revan is reborn. And you're supposed to join the light side of the Jedi. You start out not really having any Force powers, but you build yourself back up after the Jedi have been pretty much crushed by the Revanchists. You join Bastila Shan. It's a good story. Honestly, I should play through both of the Knights of the Old Republic games on stream because they're so good. They're so good. Yeah, but as far as explaining the Mandalorian Wars, I'd probably go through key characters. I think that would be like a huge talking point as far as the video goes. Just because I feel like that is one of the main drawing points of the entertainment of the Mandalorian Wars, because all the characters are just they're so unique and they're so well put together in their own way. Like, there's a ton of diversity there. Everybody from Darth Nihilus and his apprentice, who's a Miraluka, which is a race that we've never seen in cinema, which is, I believe it's canon. Miraluka's canon. A Miraluka is a species that looks very much like a human, except they're born without eyes, and almost all of them are incredibly Force sensitive, and they see through the Force. So that's a Miraluka. I don't know if there's any in the movies, though. It looks like they are canon, so they do appear in canon. It looks like they do have an appearance in Clone Wars. Jedi and the Republic, Mace Windu. Okay, so this is canon. What is this? What is this? Is this a book set or a comic set? Looks like this might be a comic series.
Last week, fans are already bounty hunting for Easter eggs. This is the way.
Oh, they're just talking about the Mandalorian. Okay, yeah, it's a comic book series about Mace Windu. I've read a bit of this too. It goes into explaining how Mace Windu got his purple lightsaber, which is really cool. It's a really cool explanation. And his lightsaber Electrum Wind, which is probably one of the sickest looking lightsabers in Star Wars. I think that it's probably one of my favorites for sure. Here's about what it looks like. These are all actual models by like Saberforge and Ultra Sabers, which you can get. I gotta get one of these, to be honest with you, because Electrum Wind is just so cool. Mace Windu also being the most talented swordsman of the Jedi Order during that time period. Like, easily. Only member of the Jedi to master Form 7, which is Juyo. I think he made his own variant called Vapad, which is still considered Form 7. Oh, this guy who was in the Clone Wars in the Mace Windu comic series. It looks like he's actually one of the Jedi who survived the Jedi Purge in Episode 3, Execute Order 66. It looks like he was... No. Yikes. He became an Inquisitor. So he became the 10th brother. And he killed Jedi. That's unfortunate. Let's see if I can pull up a picture of the 10th brother. Man, Miralukas are just so cool. I mean, they don't have eyes and all that, but like they're like extraordinarily Force sensitive. Betraying Windu. You've lied to us all from the outset. The Council had no idea such a valuable energy source existed. You insult our intelligence and our integrity. Master Dibs, what are you saying? Of course the Council didn't know. We came here to stop the Separatists. So naive, young Jedi, wake up, girl. Girl? The Council is using you. You're a pawn, no more than a clone in Jedi attire. What? I cannot follow this. Why does Mace Windu look like that? Oh, I think the Mace Windu comic series is also following Mace Windu's downfall, so I think it's canonically confirmed that Mace Windu survived the fall and the execution at the hands of Anakin Skywalker and Palpatine. Yeah, after reuniting with Windu and Mono. Yeah, and it looks like Gibbs was not down for what the Jedi were doing in the Clone Wars. And Windu was one of the biggest like war leaders during the Clone Wars. So he probably obviously also disagreed with that, but it looks like they crossed blades here. I don't know if this is where Windu died, but canonically Dibs is still alive, and he's the 10th brother. There he is. Look at that. That's the 9th sister. The 10th brother right next to the 9th sister. Oh! Does he die here? That's not good. He probably survives. I mean, he's an Inquisitor. Inquisitors are tough. Oh, he did die. Ah. The 6th brother killed the 10th brother? Despite all odds, 10th brother and other 2 Inquisitors survived the wave. Began searching for Vader to an Imperial submarine. They found Vader alive and picked him up. 9th sister revealed she had found the location of the Jedi they were looking for from her interrogation with Lee Char. Who's Lee Char? That name sounds familiar to me. Can I not duplicate? Lee Char. A male Mon Calamari. Oh, yeah, he's in Clone Wars. He's like the prince. Yeah, he's the prince. I think he becomes like the king of Mon Cala. Okay, so 10th brother did die. I say one big push, shove him aside, and then race past. Better than ending up like 10th brother. Well, how did 10th brother end up? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Wait, yeah, here. The Purge troopers then turned to the Inquisitors, and despite 10th brother's protests to them, they opened fire. The 3 Inquisitors began blocking the shots and deflecting them back at the manipulated troopers, but there were too many to deflect, and the 10th brother was hit in the chest, dropping him to the floor dead. So this is the panel where the 10th brother meets his demise. Sag. So he will not be in a JFO. Well, unless JFO goes through this event here. But I think this might take place before JFO does. Please. 14 BBY. Okay. And this is 18 BBY. So he dies 4 years before JFO starts. So unfortunately, 10th brother, unless we get a prequel, which will probably not happen. 10th brother's not going to make an appearance. But, yeah, I mean, Miralukas are cool. Kind of a extraordinary tangent I went off from the Old Republic Mandalorian Wars that I was talking about. But let's quit out of there. Vizis Mar is who I was thinking of for the influential character in Old Republic who is in Knights of the Old Republic. She's a Miraluka who is the apprentice of Darth Nihilus, the Lord of Hunger. Yeah, all these characters here are super influential characters through the Mandalorian Wars. Canderous Ordo is actually a Mandalorian who ends up following the Jedi Revan. But he's responsible for numerous victories on the Mandalorian's end. He was a great tactician and warrior. See if I can pull this up. Canderous Ordo. Yeah, this is how he appears in Knights of the Old Republic. I'm pretty sure he was ostracized from his Mandalorian clan, but in the video game, you have the option to pursue his, like, endeavors if you want, and try and make him Mandalore. Like, go and try and reclaim the Mask of Mandalore, the ultimate, and then give it to him. You meet other Mandalorians who don't recognize him as the true Mandalore, but he tries to bring back the scattered Mandalorians and kind of reforge the Mandalorian way. But he meets quite a bit of resistance along the way, so you have to kill a bunch of Mandalorians. Epic Wookiee. This is how Wookiees should be. The way that he is in Knights of the Old Republic, he's like a vicious warrior, dude. He just, like, he'll be talking to somebody, and then they'll say, like, a word that he doesn't know, and he's like, well, how about I just rip your arms off then? How about that? And then he'll just, like, rip their arms off. But, yeah, he is a Wookiee who was enslaved by a bounty hunter. Enslaved by way of life debt, because the Wookiees believe in the life debt system, where if you save a Wookiee's life, then they pledge to you a life debt, where their life is forfeit, and they are indebted to you in the way of eternal servitude, until they can pay back the debt, like if they save your life. Or if they kill you. They can also kill you, which is what he ends up doing, by the way. He ends up killing the person that he owes a life debt to, so he doesn't have to pay off his life debt. HK-47, the Lad. He's also pretty influential in Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, but he is Revan's assassin droid. Look at this, a signature Darth Vader move from Revan over here. What did you say to me? Force choke. Looks at the next person. You're in charge now. That's about how it goes, though. Oh, Vitiate, here we go. We have some Vitiate is... Oh, yeah. Vitiate is the, he's like the main antagonist of Star Wars The Old Republic. The MMO. He's probably either number 1 or number 2 on the greatest Sith Lords ever. Vitiate? Oh, dude, Vitiate is on another level. Like, it's either between him and Palpatine for number 1 position. Vitiate is insane. Let me show you what this man looks like, if you don't already know. Vitiate is the Emperor, and here he is, about to get murked by his son, who he enslaved. He doesn't actually get killed, by the way. This man here is pretty much invincible. Yeah, he's also, like, one of the first Sith Lords ever. Yeah, he does. Honestly, I'd probably put him over Palpatine. Or Valkorion. Yeah, this is Valkorion. He's also called Vitiate, though. His Sith name is Vitiate, and his Imperial name is Valkorion. Darth Vitiate, Sith Emperor Valkorion. Man, I could make a whole video about Valkorion. I stands Valkorion mega hard. He's epic. And this is the person who Revan like pledges his entire like being to killing. Revan absolutely hates Valkorion. I'm pretty sure he fails too. I'm pretty sure Revan gets like slapped. Yeah, but he does like this in crazy like power thing where he dies and then comes back to life like multiple times. So it's super hard to actually kill Valkorion. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't age either. Like he just stopped aging and he was like the emperor for a lot of years. Yeah, look at this. Thousands of years. Born 5,113 BBY and died. He died like 4 different times. And every single time it's like, yo, did he actually die? I don't know. Nobody knows. But that's like 2,500 years. Not quite that long. It's like about 1,500 years. He was like reigning as the Emperor Valkorion. Oh, he was originally the species Sith. I didn't even know that. This is what the Sith look like. They're red people. If this image loads. Yeah, this is what they look like here. I did not know Valkorion was initially a Sith, though. That's pretty poggers. Is Sith purebloods, they're called. It looks like the Sith purebloods might not have a canonical appearance yet. It looks like they might only be in Legends articles. Which is interesting, because if you follow the timeline, like, if Revan's canon, then, like, the story of Revan would need to be canon, right? And, like, the biggest thing that he did... Well, I guess it's arguable. The biggest thing that he did was either fight Valkorion or fight during the Mandalorian Wars. So, I guess as far as what he did in the Mandalorian Wars is canon, but if Valkorion is not canon, or Vitiate... Yeah, it looks like Vitiate and Valkorion are just not canon yet. And I say yet because I do think that Disney will realize how epic this is. Valkorion and Vitiate. Maybe they'll just have like a another comic book series spin-off, maybe in the Old Republic, where they just mention Vitiate, and that's all it'll take, and then all this will be canon, and the Sith purebloods will be canon. Okay. So he uses the body swap power, which is something that is in the Bane series as well. If you read the book about Darth Bane, it's also theorized that Darth Bane never died, and then through the rule of 2, he's existed, and some say that he's even still alive because his apprentice, Darth Zana, tried to kill him, which is the way of the rule of 2. And it was while he was performing a ritual, which is the dark side body swap kind of thing, where he would take on his apprentice's body. And I'm probably gonna have to go to Legend. Actually, I think it's canon. I think that's, yeah, Darth Zana right here. Yeah, here we go. So there's Darth Zana and there's Darth Bane. And if you follow the rule of 2, after Darth Bane dies, I mean, there's theories that Darth Bane is still alive, like his consciousness is still alive, which has survived through the Rule of Two. And if that were the case, then Darth Vader would actually be Darth Bane through the... If you follow it all the way down, which I don't think you can. I think if you follow it, eventually you'd realize there was a place where Darth Bane definitely would have been executed, just because the Rule of Two gets pretty intense near the middle. Not so much in the later years. Like when you get to, if you follow it backwards, you have Darth Vader, obviously, and then back one you have Palpatine, and then back one you have Plagueis, and then back another one you have Tenebris, who taught Plagueis. But that's not how you spell Tenebris. Tenebris, here we go. Let's just put that right in there. This is what my man Tenebris looks like. He taught Plagueis around like 250 BBY. Let's see, who taught Tenebris as a Sith Lord? Darth Tenebris. He was a scientific mastermind. Possessed of a calculating intellect with an obsession on shaping the future, and was the master of Darth Plagueis and Darth Venomous. I had no idea that he had two apprentices. That is so interesting to me, because Darth Tenebris hated Darth Plagueis, because Darth Plagueis was kind of like, he was really soft. He really was. And that's why Palpatine killed him so easily, is because Darth Plagueis was a softie compared to Tenebris. And Plagueis suffered like constant abuse from him because of that. Yeah, okay. Alright, here we go. Tenebris trained Venomous in violation of the Rule of Two, because he had another apprentice. So it was during the same time. I thought maybe, like, he had taught Venomous, and then Venomous tried to kill him and failed, or something. But it looks like he taught him at the same time. And it looks like he's a fake Darth as well. Right here it says it was not legitimately bestowed upon him. And there should only ever really be one Darth at a time, because if you take the title Darth, I mean, it's kind of hard to get into. It takes a lot of explanation, because it's kind of like a title that's changed through the years. It's not very consistent, but it's not just something that you get for being a dark side user. Yo, Ash, welcome back. I'm just talking about some really deep Star Wars lore. I've been talking about some Star Wars lore for the past hour or so, because that's what we do here. Yeah, I'm good though. How have you been? Man, it's been cold outside recently. Jeez, with that weather. Yeah, but I had no idea Venomous was even... What happened to him, I wonder? I wonder if Darth Plagueis ended up defeating Venomous. That sounds like a really typical thing for a Sith Lord to do, is to train two apprentices and then make them fight each other. But yeah, I'm curious. Darth Venomous, does it have his death on here at all? He died. Okay, so he did die. He died 42 BBY, which I think, if we look at Plagueis, where's Plagueis? Here it is. I think Darth Plagueis died about the same time. Interesting. Darth Venomous outlived Darth Plagueis. So what does that mean? If Darth Tenebris had two students at the time, and it looks like Darth Venomous outlived Plagueis by at least 10 years. Yeah, 10 years exactly. So that means Venomous was alive all through... Wait, no, that's not true. That's not true. Darth Venomous died 10 years before Plagueis because that's not how the timeline works. He died 32 BBY and he died 42 BBY. So I am not right to assume that. What species is Venomous? Oh, he's a Bith. Oh, he's a Bith just like Tenebris. That's curious. I wonder if Venomous is related to Tenebris. Oh, okay, here we go, here we go. To be biologically related to their common master, possibly as an offspring. Oh, shit! Okay, so Venomous is actually considered Tenebris's child. I'm thinking probably Plagueis ended up killing Venomous, and then probably killed Tenebris right after that. That's what it looks like, probably is how things went down. After Tenebris died on Baldemnik at the hands of Plagueis in 67 BBY, the latter discovered that Venomous kept a list of certain Force-sensitive beings as potential apprentices of his own. Alright, look at that. So, the race is on at this point to see who can continue the lineage of the Rule of Two. The legacy of the Rule of Two. Between, Venomous and, Plagueis. Before Venomous could pursue his own agenda, he moved to fulfill Tenebris' final command to eliminate Plagueis, leaving Lair on Abraxian. So Lair is, it looks like, who Venomous had selected as his Force-sensitive pupil. I wonder if he actually ended up teaching him anything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It looks like Venomous was poisoned. Which, like, given his name, I think is kind of ironic. That he died from being poisoned. A Coma Bloom is the name of the flower that he ingested. Oh, Plagueis had a droid too. Look at that. 11-4D. I wonder if it's, well, it's not, it doesn't seem like an HK unit. Oh, it's not 11-4D, it's 114D. And he's canon. Poggers. Oh, it's a protocol droid. What? What? Why is he using a protocol droid? Oh, and he appears in the Tarkin book. Can we get a picture of 11-4D or 114D? Do we have a picture somewhere? I'm curious to see if he looks like C-3PO or not as a protocol droid. It seems like he's just some kind of etiquette droid, like a servant. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it looks like here. Oh, okay. So if we look at this article here, and then cross-reference it with the Darth Venomous article here, is it this one? I think it is this one. Yeah. So his apprentice, the one that he was looking to make his apprentice Lair. See if I can find that name somewhere again. Was actually a skin shifter. Here it is, leaving Lair on Abraxian. So the way that this is worded, the way this paragraph is worded, makes me think that Lair received some kind of formal training from Venomous. At least a little bit. Probably not nearly as much as he needed. But if that's the case, then depending on if he was able to pass on that knowledge, like that could still be like another like a branch off of the rule of two, which would be nuts. Let's see if we can open another article and find Lair. It is looking bleak. It looks like we don't have much here. I'm thinking, nope. Duel on Abraxian. Does this have to do with, Lair? No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does. With Plagueis. If it has to do with Plagueis, then it has to do with Lair, I'm assuming. The place is Abraxian. The duel occurred very quickly, seeing Karen Jedi Master Nikata and Zabrak Jedi Padawan Lobuk. Sith candidate, not Lair. Oh, here it is. Here's his article. Poggers. Prove yourself worthy to me and venomous by killing them. Yes, my lord. Darth Plagueis to Latnair. Oh! Plagueis was actually looking at making Nat Lair his apprentice. And if that had been the case, then Palpatine would have never become a Sith. So, if Nat Lair had not failed... I'm assuming he failed. I'm assuming he failed to meet Plagueis' expectations, and Plagueis subsequently killed him. But had Nat Lair been made Plagueis' apprentice, Plagueis never would have found Palpatine, and he never would have become a Sith. But I think... Oh yeah, Lair failed in his mission to assassinate the two Jedi that had come to kill Plagueis. Nikata. So the Jedi Nikata killed Lair, and because of that, Lair was... Man, that would have been sick to see a skin changer as a Sith Lord. Man, that would have been epic. This is really cool, though. This, I never explored this, section of the legacy of the Rule of Two. I knew more or less that, like, I knew, Tenebris trained Plagueis, trained Palpatine, trained Anakin. But I didn't realize that Tenebris had taken on another apprentice, who, in turn, had taken on another apprentice. Alright, let's see who taught Tenebris. Apprenticeship. After being selected as an apprentice by a Twi'lek Sith Lord, Rugnus Gnome... Rugus Gnome. Oh, that's Darth Tenebris's given name. Darth Tenebris also is renowned for being, like, absolutely five-head. Like, he was a genius engineer. Because he's a Bith, and Bith have, like, an elevated intellect, especially when compared to that of humans. Like, they have, like, supercomputers in their brain. This is Darth Tenebris on the left here. Darth Tenebris pictured on the left and Plagueis on the right here. On this picture. But that's what a Bith looks like right there. Yeah, so he was a starship engineer, creating legendary starships. Oh, even whilst holding the title of Sith Lord. So, man, being a Sith was not enough for this guy. He was a Sith, and then on top of that, he was like a, a galaxy-renowned engineer. Does this Twi'lek Sith Lord have a name, or is this where the rule of two gets muddled? Yeah, looks like, yeah, unidentified Sith Lord. So this is where the legacy of the rule of two is kind of stopped. But this goes back like 200 BBY, 167 BBY is where Darth Tenebrous' master died. And then Darth Tenebrous, I think, lives, because he's a Bith, lives a couple hundred years. He didn't necessarily have the power that Pelagus had to extend his lifespan. During the final centuries of the Galactic Republic, the duo followed the lineage of the Sith Lord Darth Bane, adhering to the Rule of Two, which restricted the Sith to one master and one apprentice, which is obviously common knowledge here, the Rule of Two. During the Master's reign, the Twi'lek opened a hole in the Force. What? What? Opened a hole in the Force, allowing the Jedi Order to feel the dark side for the first time in over 8 centuries. After the final battle of the New Sith Wars, eventually the Twi'lek was slain by Tenebrous, who carried the Sith imperative forward by taking the Mun, which would be Pelagus. Interesting. Okay, okay. So, Phantom Menace is like the earliest back, at least, that the Jedi have felt the presence of the Sith, and that was the first time that they had seen them in hundreds of years. And then this would be the next farthest back experience, which would be like 200 years. Damn. So yeah, this Sith is definitely very ambitious. Goading the Jedi by, like, I mean, the only thing that she really did is, like, went to the Jedi and was like, yo, we're here. We're the Sith. We're still alive. And we're here to fuck shit up. That's all she did, honestly. Which is insanity, to be honest with you. Yo, Ash, I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm actually planning on making a YouTube video about the Mandalorian Wars, which is what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream. But I think it would be really interesting for people to hear about, like, what happens during the Mandalorian Wars and how the Mandalorians were before they are in the Mandalorian TV show, and like where all the traditions come from and such. But I have like a half-finished script of that, so I still need to voice act that and then like put in graphics and all that. It's unfortunate that Darth Tenebrous' master is unnamed, though. Because that's as far back as we can follow the Rule of Two. And if we go back to, honestly, if we go back to Darth Bane and we follow forward instead of backtracking, we might be able to close the gap like a bit. I can make an entire another video about the Rule of Two and how the legacy is followed and like significant events that have taken place involving the members of the Rule of Two. So Darth Bane trained Zana, obviously, and then Zana had another apprentice. I think we're gonna have to go to Legends for that, though. Okay, so Zana had 3 apprentices. Okay. So it looks like Darth Cognis. Darth Cognis is Zana's actual apprentice who passed on the lineage. Iktachi, what is this? I've never even heard this species before. Oh, wait, yes I have. Yes, I have. Yeah, this is a Jedi Master who is this species in episode 1, 2, and 3. I think this guy is actually in the scene where they confront Palpatine and he dies like right away, like real quick. Let me see if I can pull that up. Ah, here we go. This is an epic scene. I love this scene for so many reasons. Like, honestly, the way the movie portrays the scene is really not as it should be. I mean, it kind of is, but it's hard to explain. Like, it's really easy to look at this and be like, yo, the Jedi suck. I mean, he just stood up and he killed 2 of them right away. But if you read the book, Revenge of the Sith, it explains how actually quick he is. Like, he moves like as fast as light. Like, when he jumps up and he spins and he uses several like dark side techniques. Let's just watch the scene. This is an amazing scene. I love this scene.
I must say you're here sooner than expected.
In the name of the Galactic Senate of...
Oh, it's not him. But it is the same. Actually, yes, it is him. Yeah, it's right here. This guy here is the same species.
Republic, you're under arrest, Chancellor.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
The Senate will decide.
For a long time, Kit Fisto is one of my favorite Jedi too.
The Senate.
Kind of
Not
pepe hands that
yet.
he does here. Look at that. Look at that.
It's treason.
Oh, man. Fisto lasts like 4 seconds. The way this battle is depicted in the books is insane because this is one of the strongest Sith Lords that have ever existed. Like top 2. If I were making a tier list like of the entire chronology of Star Wars, Palpatine would probably be number 2 as a Sith. And the fact that he's never fought Sith is actually attributed to the lightsaber form that he uses, which is a Sith technique, and there's a lot you can go into as far as the lightsaber technique that Mace Windu uses, but some Jedi think that it's not good that he uses it because it uses dark side energy. Oh, here he comes. This is gonna be another tangent, but I wanna try and pull up the what how the fight is described in the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, and I think there's like art for it as well, but to get a description of the lightsaber form 7 Vapad that Mace Windu uses, it's just like, let me see if I can pull this up. Confrontation of Palpatine in the novelization. Oh, Revenge of the Sith. Okay, Showdown on Coruscant. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. The duel. Is this going to... I am the Senate. The most famous quote, dude. Give the man an Oscar. And Mace Windu is easily the most talented lightsaber duelist in the Jedi Order during this time, easily. He's the only single combatant who could have faced Sidious in single, like, lightsaber combat. Because the way Vapad works is that it's essentially it's like a mirror. You're fighting a mirror, essentially. So all the power that Sidious has is reflecting against him, which forces a stalemate. And until the battle gets drawn out, and in which case Mace Windu has more endurance than Palpatine does, and that's why Mace Windu ends up winning in single combat, is because he has more endurance than Sidious does. So it's honestly, he plays the long game. And then Anakin comes in and ruins it all. I'm not seeing it. I bet that... Oh, might be in behind the scenes, actually. No, this is into the filming of the scene. Oh, here we go. Mace Windu slammed into a wall. I think this is more into the novelization. Discrepancies. Oh, discrepancies. Well, that's not good. I've also played this game too. The video game adaptation, Revenge of the Sith, is a good one. But that's not canon. It's just kind of like a fun little game. Interesting. So I can't find it in here, but I know that I've seen it before. I know that Star Wars Theory has a video where he talks about, I think it's him covering the 7 lightsaber forms, and then when he talks about Vapad, because when you talk about Vapad, you have to bring up Mace Windu, since he's the one who essentially invented it. He invented lightsaber form 7.5 more like, because it comes from Juyo, which is a strictly dark side technique, because it comes from the power of the lightsaber technique comes from a will to destroy your opponent. And then Mace Windu is like, yo, that one. Give me that one. Give me that lightsaber technique. I want to kill people. Man, what a good picture. Yeah, Mace Windu's kind of forehead, though, for the way that he handled the situation with Anakin. I think that's pretty common. I don't know, maybe it's a little controversial, but it's pretty commonly accepted that Mace Windu was like 2 IQ for the way that he handled Anakin Skywalker. But what can you do, you know? Palpatine is just too powerful. His manipulation was off the charts. At which part? How do you mean? Like how just the way he acted towards him. He was always skeptical about Anakin, and he refused to grant him the rank of master, even though he was like largely responsible for. Why is my chat box in a weird spot? Let me fix that real quick. Ah, that's better. Actually, even over just a little bit more. Ah, perfect. Specifically in reference to him not being made a Jedi Master, which is kind of outrageous. considering Anakin was the war hero of the Clone Wars. And if you watch the Clone Wars animated series, that's really accentuated in the way that, like, if anything is happening at all, they either send Obi-Wan or Anakin to go deal with it because they're actual war heroes. And Anakin is probably the strongest, like one of the strongest of the Jedi Order, as far as overall, because obviously he's the chosen one, and his Force energy or his power. It was measured in metacalorians, but that was, they kind of backpedaled away from that in canon. They don't really use metacalorians anymore. But if you even as a child, he had more metacalorians than even Master Yoda did, and had he not lost like all of his limbs in the duel against Obi-Wan, he would have been so powerful as a Sith Lord, because your connection to the Force, if you lose part of your body, you lose part of your connection to the Force. So that's also why Darth Vader was never able to use Force lightning, is because he didn't have any limbs. I kind of went off on a tangent and didn't exactly answer your question, but essentially just not making him a Jedi Master and being extremely skeptical of him. Whenever Mace Windu like gets a line, it's usually to shit on Anakin. Like in all the movies, whenever he says anything, it's usually like, "Yo, Anakin is stupid." I'm gonna pull up a couple scenes to show you exactly what I mean here. Looks like it's too far over. There we go. But yeah, that is. Oh, we were following the rule of two. Man, I get off on so many tangents when I was when I talk about Star Wars. Yeah, here we go. Here's a couple. So, if you look at whenever Mace Windu talks about Anakin, and here's even a video by Stupendous Wave, which is probably one of the best Star Wars lore YouTubers that I know of. Like, if you just look at the title of it, I mean, pretty good explanation. But even in this scene here, this is a good scene to talk about too.
We're on our way to make sure the Chancellor returns emergency power back to the Senate.
He won't give up his power. I've just learned a terrible truth. I think Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
Yes, the one we've been looking for.
How do you know this?
He knows the ways of the Force. He's been trained to use the dark side.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
And our worst fears have been realized. We must move quickly if the Jedi Order is to survive.
Master, the Chancellor is very powerful. You'll need my help if you're going to arrest him.
True.
For your own good, stay out of this affair.
Absolute zero head play by Mace Windu. Like, Anakin, oh man. And this comes because this happens because Mace Windu doesn't trust Anakin, which is absolutely outrageous at this point. Like, if Anakin were a Sith, which is honestly what Mace Windu thinks, then why would he oust his master like that? Like, that's just bonkers. And here, standing next to Mace Windu, is probably one of the most powerful Jedi, like, of the Order currently. And he would definitely. Oh, jeez, it's just goofy.
I sense a great deal of confusion in you, young Skywalker. There is much fear that clouds your judgment.
I must go, Master.
No. If what you've told me is true, you will have gained my trust.
Still doesn't trust him.
But for now, remain here. Wait in the council chambers until we return.
Yes, Master.
Yeah. And just, like, the lack of foresight on his end to think that Anakin would just stay there with everything that's going on. I suppose so. Like, in the context of Anakin being like an apprentice Padawan, that would make sense. But the thing is, he's not an apprentice Padawan. He's it's really hard to explain if you don't watch the Clone Wars, because that's really where you get the best grasp of what Anakin is really about. On the big screen, he's not depicted in a very good light at all. Yeah, absolutely. Like grossly underestimating Palpatine. Yeah. Like the entire series, if you watch, at least for the prequels, the entire time they talk about how the Jedi's ability to use the Force for foresight and divination is like diminished entirely. And there's a meeting in, I think it's Phantom Menace, near the end, when they get back to Coruscant, where Mace Windu is speaking with Yoda, and Mace Windu's like, yo, we should probably tell the Senate that our ability to use the Force is entirely diminished. And then Yoda's like, yeah, dude, there's like a Sith in our midst, and they're clouding our ability to see into the future. And that's why nobody was able to suspect Palpatine, is because the Jedi's foresight was essentially blocked. That's discussed in I'm pretty sure it's Phantom Menace, near the end of the movie. Maybe it's it might even be in Revenge of the Sith in the beginning, though. I don't think it's that late, though. Maybe it is. I think it is. I think it's actually in Revenge of the Sith. That's true. It's definitely in Revenge of the Sith. Anyways, so following the rule of two again, we have here Darth Cognis, who trained Darth Millennial. Whoa! Whoa, this guy's a third eye! What is this? He's a human! Whoa! What's going on here? Yo, what is going on here? Man looks like a wizard from Dungeons & Dragons. Why does he have 3 eyes? Okay, so what time period is this? Because if we piece this together, we might be able to have the entire legacy of the rule of two. His all-seeing eye, absolutely. Man, this is insane. How did this happen? He's a 3-eyed mutant Sith Lord and Shadowhand, heir to the lineage of Darth Bane. What is Shadowhand? Is that like a cult? A Sith cult? Shadowhand was the title given to the second-in-command of the Sith Monarch, or Sith Ari. Later, members of the Sith Order would use it as both a title for the second-in-command of the Sith Master and as a term equivalent to an apprentice. Okay. The Sith Monarch. So there's quite banishes people to the Shadow Realm. Yes. Yes. I love that. Yeah. He left his enraged master and founded the Dark Force religion, which would later become the Prophets of the Dark Side on the planet Droman Kos. Yo! 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 Okay, so this guy here might actually be... I didn't know this person existed, but that's sick. If he founded the Prophets of the Dark Side on Droman Kos, that makes him extraordinarily influential. Droman Kos is the basically it's Coruscant is to the Republic as Droman Kos is to the Empire. It's the Empire home planet. It's like a political metropolis for the Empire. This is in the Old Republic era too, so this is like hundreds and hundreds of years before Episode 1 even. Okay, of human descent who lived almost 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. Okay, all right. So this isn't super long ago. Only 1,000 years before Battle of Yavin. And I think the farthest back, following from Palpatine and Vader, which tab was this? Is this guy? Not this. Nat Lair? No, not Nat Lair. Oh, we just had that. So, Darth Tenebrous' master. Okay, here it is. Darth Tenebrous' Sith master, who was a Twi'lek. Yeah. Right? Who died 167 BBY. So, following Darth Millennial, who is almost, it said almost 1,000 years. So I think there's like roughly 800 years missing so far. But we can still go forward because Darth Millennial has an apprentice, obviously. Oh! My cat just jumped on my lap. Okay, so it looks like there are a lot of disagreements with Millennial and his master Cognis. Honestly, next to Millennial, Cognis seems like kind of like a bitch, to be honest with you. Like, how are you gonna get surpassed by your master or your apprentice in such a astronomical way? Like, look at this man. Look at the comparison here. Like, I can look at this guy and know that he's the boss. He wears the pants in this relationship. Oh, okay. So Darth Millennial did not at all agree with the rule of two. Which is probably why he founded an order of Darkside Force users. And that could be where the rule of two, like, ultimately kind of stopped. And it would make sense that this... I've been forsaken by my cat. Ultimately probably would be a good spot to end the lineage, because it would, I don't know, it'd be a lot of writing to... What's going on here? What is this? Is this... It looks like the new Suicide Squad, maybe. I don't know. Okay, he believed more martial philosophy put forward by former Dark Lord and the founder of the Brotherhood of Darkness, Lord Khan. Okay. So in the Old Republic era, there was actually, at a time when Sith were very prominent and it was very similar to the way the Jedi were in the movies, where there was a Sith Academy on Korriban, and there was a council. It was called the Dark Council, which was kind of made to mock and mirror the Jedi Council. They had their own chamber. It was called the Dark Council, which I'm pretty sure is entirely Legends. but it's definitely still really epic. Yeah, Sith Emperor Valkorion, or Vitiate. His Sith name is Vitiate, but his political name is Valkorion. See if I can get a picture. Yeah, here we go. There's a couple seats in the Dark Council chamber. And to become a member of the Dark Council, you have to be so, like, powerful and influential. Like, especially if you read the novels of the Old Republic, where you speak with people who have been in the Dark Council, like this book here, Revan, which is in the Old Republic. It's just, each individual member has so many resources at their disposal, and just the ability to just make things the way they want them to be. But because of the way the Sith fundamentally are, they almost always die by people who are under them, and then their spot gets taken, and then the Dark Council is just like, yeah, whatever. It's just another Tuesday. Anyway, back to Darth Millennial, though. Where are we at here? So, it looks like we don't have where the rule of two goes from here. I'm really interested to see how he's a mutant, like if he was just born like that, or if it was some kind of, like, Sith ritual. Oh, it looks like Luke Skywalker has something to say about him. Its next round of rediscovery came by someone who rejected the rule of two, who thought that there was more than enough of the dark side to go around. He founded a religion that would become known as the Dark Force. There's an ancient temple there still. It was serviced for centuries by the Dark Prophets, which is the... Oh, that's interesting! So Darth Millennial's legacy continues even into the sequels. Like, this is probably not canon Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker does a ton of stuff in Legends after Episode 6, which is probably never going to be made canon, unlike everything before. Interesting. So the Dark Prophets continued Darth Millennial's lineage. Not his lineage, his legacy. Oh, dude, I knew it. He could see into the future. Powerful precognitive abilities. So basically, he's an oracle, and he created, looks like all the Dark Prophets were also essentially oracles with, like, incredible divination. Boggers. So that's where the rule of two ends. So there's like about 800 years missing there between Darth Millennial and Darth Tenebris's unnamed master. Learn something new every day, though. I think this is the only actual Sith that I didn't already know existed in the Rule of Two legacy. I want to know where all this information comes from, though. Where the sources are. Okay, so the Dark Forces Saga Part 5. Evil Never Dies. Oh, okay, it's also in the Book of Sith, Secrets from the Dark Side, which is canon? Is this canon? You can buy this book on Amazon, by the way. You can buy Book of the Sith and Book of the Jedi. There's like a... It's like a box set. Interesting. Okay, so he's referenced in the Book of the Sith. That's pretty cool. It's essentially just a lore book. It's not really like a novelization with any kind of story. See if I can pull it up on Amazon, actually. It's kind of like, yeah, here we go. The Book of the Sith here, and then there's the Jedi Path, and then the Bounty Hunter Code, too. You can find them at Barnes & Noble, too. I've seen them at Barnes & Noble a couple times. Yeah, I should honestly buy this. It does seem like it's pretty sick. It has, like, direct quotes, like right here. This is supposed to be, like, the direct writing of one of the Sith. And then throughout the book, too, like, Palpatine has, like, yeah, people will just take notes on here. Like, there's from Luke. I'm not gonna try and read that, though. There's another note from Luke. These are all notes from Luke on it's just Luke's thoughts on it, I guess, but this is a preface written by Darth Sidious. It's just kind of cool. It's supposed to be like the teachings of the Sith, I guess. Like the way every Sith thought about the Sith. Darth Sidious obviously thought he was above it all because he considered himself the apex of the rule of two, like the product of the culmination of the legacy. And I don't know if it's canon or not, but he pioneered the rule of one because he considered himself to be the strongest being that a force sensitive person could be. So he decided to make the rule of one and become immortal. But Darth Vader said no. Pretty cool book, though. It's kind of like, I don't know if you get into Lord of the Rings at all, but I have something very similar for, as far as Lord of the Rings goes. Like, I have it over here. Yeah, here we go. This is like a Lord of the Rings equivalent. It's an illustrated almanac. Leather bound. It's pretty cool. But Lord of the Rings has lore that's almost, if not... I think it's debatable. You could say Lord of the Rings lore is deeper than Star Wars lore, and I could argue either side of that. Mainly because of the Silmarillion is like one of the most intense lore books I've ever read before. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's here's a picture of the dawn of the race of men. It's not just like a picture book though. It's got like all kinds of junk in there. Yeah, I get pretty invested into like the deep lore of definitely Star Wars, but also Lord of the Rings. and like other kind of things like that. I'm a sucker for a series with like a very intense and elaborate lore. Yeah, what I need to do, I need to finish making the scripts for the YouTube videos that I've like pretty much already done all the research for. Man, I gotta make like a comprehensive Sith tier list. The thing is, it's gonna be hard to find pictures for a lot of these fellas, because some of them don't have pictures, like Tenebrous' master, who also doesn't even have a name. But I feel like I would still put her on the Sith tier list just because she's responsible for the very first like introduction of the Sith to the Jedi in 8 centuries. It says 8 centuries, in over 8 centuries. Yo, that's exactly what we just found out, because the last documented Sith Lord is Darth Millennial. So this is the very first Sith since Darth Millennial in the Rule of Two. It literally says it right here, and we just figured that out. So I guess, man, that's perfect. Look at that. It says 8 centuries, in over 8 centuries. That's poggers. Because Darth Millennial was... Does it give the exact chronology? Life. We'll go to life. It just says almost 1,000 years BBY. So less than 1,000 BBY, and then Darth Tenebrous' master is alive around 200 BBY, I would say. If she died, 167 BBY, which is about 8 centuries. Right here. So the Rule of Two stops here and starts back up here, because Darth Millennial is another individual who thought himself above the Rule of Two. I don't think we need this page anymore, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. Man, what could have been, though, to see a skin changer Sith Lord in the Legacy of the Rule of Two. So this is Darth Venomous's apprentice, and Darth Venomous is Tenebrous' apprentice, and Tenebrous trained Plagueis, who trained Sidious. That's kind of complicated to follow. I'll say it one more time. So Palpatine was trained by Plagueis, who was trained by Tenebrous. And Tenebrous had 2 apprentices. He had Venomous and Plagueis, which is breaking the Rule of Two, which is a cardinal sin of the Sith. And then Venomous had his own apprentice, who is Nat Lair, who is this. He looks like this. And Plagueis was looking at taking Nat Lair on as an apprentice. So if Plagueis had taken Nat Lair on as an apprentice, then Palpatine never would have become a Sith. But he died. He was killed by Nikata of the Jedi Order. So if he hadn't died there... If he hadn't died there, then Palpatine would have never become a Sith. He would have been on Naboo his entire life as I don't know. His early life is kind of weird. He's one of those kids who enjoyed torturing animals. He's one of those. So So he was always like super kind of evil as a person. This is Darth Plagueis. He's a Mun. The person who trained Palpatine. This is where the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise comes in, that story. It's also an amazing coffee pasta. I bet it's in here somewhere. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Oh, here it is. Oh. Oh, it's just a little bit of it. Who trained me? Actually, I found Revan's Sith holocron, and I taught myself. Which is actually the same way that Bane was trained. Bane trained himself based off of a holocron that he found from Revan. Revan's holocron. Darth Plagueis was a what? Oh, that's not it. Oh, you have a how-to on the handstand thing? Post a link. I'm down for a break anyways. I've been talking about Star Wars lore for just over 2 hours now. I need to get into Diablo 3 again to catch up in the season, because the person that I'm running the new season with is quite a bit ahead of me. I think he might be level 70 and I'm like level 20. So I have like a sizable gap to close on that one. Oh, gotcha. Yes. Yeah. So... Oh, really? Damn. Yeah, I should, he's also been talking about playing the new Diablo 2 mod. Is it just something online you can download? Because I'm gonna go see if I can find it, because I have Diablo 1, 2, and 3 upstairs on my bookshelf. I'm gonna see if I can go get that. It was like my stepfather's, and then when he passed away, he had like left me all his like nerd stuff. So I got that. And he has Diablo 1, 2, and 3. It was in his garage for like probably since it came out. I'm gonna go see if I can find it real quick. I don't know why I said I'm gonna go see if I can find it when I knew exactly where it was. You need Diablo 2 and DT LOD to play. Here's Diablo 3. Here's Diablo 3, which I got. I bought this myself. I don't remember when. It was a while ago though. And then here is Diablo 2. Original case. It's thick. And there's a lot of discs in here. Oh, I just dropped them. I don't even know if any of these still run. Oh, they still look pretty good. I feel like a collector would be like punching air if they just saw me drop these discs on the ground. And then here's another Diablo 2 disc, and another Diablo 2 disc, and here's the Diablo original disc.